It is May 7th, 2020, WIKISPEED Startup. Go ahead, Lauren.
It's Lauren Salter, Gabriel Island, British Columbia, Canada. Past week, I was hoping to do a little bit with Raspberry Pi. I did a tiny bit with Raspberry Pi. I got out my kit, my jumper thing, and I've wired, I put in the LED at one jumper, and I have one more connection to add to the one and then turn it on. And then the light will go on because it's connected to is the power on the Raspberry Pi. So when I plug it in, the light should go on. So I did that. I guess the other relevant thing is Jitsi is a lot better. And we had our Linux meeting with at least 6 people last night. Various devices, various qualities, but it on the computer, it's not great on the tablet and the phone, or at least it's okay, but on the computer it's really, really good, and it gives you all these things. You can look at each person's, the quality of their connection, their bits up and down, and then for the host, it gives them the option to kick the person out or mute them or unmute them. Or anyways, it's got lots and lots of geeky features that are really great. And we did our meeting with people who really, even though they're computer people, they haven't done a lot of video conferencing, I don't think. And it was very successful. It went on for 2 hours. People showing stuff in their workshops and everything. So in some ways, it was really good. People got to show different things. Ended up with people, one guy sending out an FM signal on the island, asking everyone to tune to it. So that was kind of actually very enlightening about video conferencing and the state of Jitsi, which is a lot better and really got some great features. Sharing with Chrome, it's kind of integrated with Chrome. So maybe I should go to crosstalk on this, but yeah, there's actually a fair amount of technical detail. You can pick out a tab in Chrome. Within Chrome, it gives you the list of tabs, and you can pick one to share. So that's the other thing I did this past week. The other obligatory thing is I think we're getting close to the deadline for reporting to keep the charitable status. So I started on that. I think I might have had a question for Joe, but I want to get to that. I don't know how strict they're going to be this year. And in that connection, there's another. Yeah, so actually for the coming week, these are the 2 things are these obligations. Most urgently, the IRS. Then by fall, I need to send a report that we're using extreme manufacturing to keep the trademark, the service mark. So that's the coming week. And the blocks, actually right now, it's more like there's a lot of things I'm involved in and going on that, whereas before it was kind of just maintaining myself, but I've got a kind of routine going. And the other block is I'm kind of trying to have input on into how British Columbia opens up, because BC had the most cases at first of COVID. Now they have, compared to the larger provinces, the fewest, or rather of the provinces with more than 5 million people, say that they have the fewest, and a very low rate, 20 per million versus 100 per million for Canada. So they announced kind of a gradual opening up, but we're on this island, we're concerned because I think there was a spike after the Easter. Anyway, so that's something, just a distraction, but I want to have input, and there's some interesting stuff I probably will send to you too a doctor in China who studied in Canada has made suggestions as to how the Canada should open up and how they should handle things. So in a publication, in a Canadian medical publication. So and I wanted to kind of promote that and draw attention to it. So that's kind of a block in that there's things happening fast. And that's it for me.
Okay. It is Michael Olchuk in Saskatoon, Canada. For the week, I got last week's stand-up posted. I went out and purchased 4 batteries for 18650 cells. There's a lady in town that used to sell batteries in a battery store. The store is closed, so she's selling her inventory off. So pretty good price. And I went to the local makerspace, which is still open. I'm not sure, like one guy was downstairs, one was upstairs, one was in the back. So I think they still have the place open. They just have to control how many people are there, which is usually not a problem apparently. Anyway, I bought a couple of chargers, just plug into the micro USB from a wall charger to charge up the 18650 cells, so I should be able to put them into that truck. I continued putting the truck together. I found out I had a couple of things upside down, which is why things didn't go together very well. I downloaded a new set of noobs, which is your Raspberry Pi load image, and it took forever. It was like 2.3 gig. Got the other stuff downloaded, got this
Wow.
The called open source project for the little truck. Got that downloaded, and I haven't run it yet because I don't have all the cables plugged in. I've got to install Python on my laptop, and there's a calibration script that I need to run as well. So things are going along. They're not quite as far as I wanted them to be. Anyway, next week I'm going to be working on this N scope, which is it's a breadboard power supply and a 4-channel programmable output and a 4-channel scope, all on USB and runs an app on the laptop. So I'm going to be basically going through and checking that out, using it for checking out the chips. And then I'm going to try get the infrared transmitter and receiver running. No blocks, and I guess that's about it for me.
Okay. So I'll give myself a 5. The team at 10, and let's see. Yeah, I remember I had a good process improvement last week. I don't remember what it was, and I don't have one for this week. So that's it for me.
Okay, I'm gonna give myself, well, I made 4 points and I expected 4 points, so that's a 10. The team, haven't heard anything from anybody else lately, so I'm gonna go back to a 7. And process improvement, I didn't write down your process improvement for last week. I should have. Anyway. I don't have any new ideas for a process improvement, so I guess that pretty much wraps us up. So you want to talk about Jitsi? So you want to try Jitsi for stand-up next week? Or?
So I didn't get around to. I'm trying to get our systems guy on the island here to run his own Jitsi server, because one of the options when you go to Jitsi is download the server and run your own server. So, but they, they have it's called Jitsi Meet, I think, is their cloud or whatever. and it's way more like transparent than Zoom. Like you see everything, and particularly from the computer, you got these great options for sharing. There's a YouTube, share YouTube. There's a record option, and I haven't looked into it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a record option, and there's there's a kind of a YouTube thing, which may be meant to put it on YouTube.
Could be a streaming.
Yeah, yeah, the options vary a lot by device, and the computer has the most complete and most. But the computer one was really impressive because you can look at each person and see how good. You know, it says poor connection through good connection, and it has their up and down speeds. So it's like extremely helpful in my point of view. I mean, that's like way. Like every I don't know if you can do that in Zoom, but I haven't noticed you can do that.
You can't in the free version anyway.
Yeah.
I've been through pretty much every option I can find. So.
Yep. So it's really geeky and really wonderful as far as I can tell, and easy. Okay, so the security is, and this was pointed out as a security weakness of Zoom, is that they assign a 6-digit thing. And with Zoom now, I'm sure there's a million conferences going on at any minute. So that's how hackers can get in. They can randomly pick a 6-digit and just join whatever conference is on. So but you can pick as long and meaningful or obscure a name as you want, and right away you got some security there by obscurity. And then on top of that, you can create a password. Now, it's in terms of scheduling, it doesn't have scheduling. I researched that. So you can't schedule a meeting.
Okay.
And if you remember, if you want to put a password on, that password it changes. Like the room is ephemeral. It'll kind of keep the name of the room if you want to use it again, but it's a different meeting every time you use. And so that's in one sense it's secure because each time it comes up, you're setting a new password. So it makes it, but if you keep the name the same, then you can periodically have it. Oh yeah, so it's got some integration with Chrome. So one of the things it said was that with Google Calendar, do you want to integrate it? Now in Google Calendar says, and then the name has changed of Hangouts. It's Google Meet now. So, and actually this didn't show up before, but once I did the Jitsi thing and said, yes, allow Jitsi to use Google Calendar, it gives me an option for the first time of either Google Meet, and Gmail just rolled out and said, of course they've always had this, but under different names, but now they're promoting it. So I just got an email from Gmail saying, meet with as many, video chat with as many of your people you correspond with on Gmail, through Gmail, no problem. So I just got that message. So Google is kind of scrambling to revive all their video conferencing. But in Google Calendar, when I schedule a meeting, it says, just above the location, it says, make this a conference. And it used to offer kind of Hangouts conference only. Now it says Google Meet or Jitsi. Which one do you want? Yeah. So then that's a way to schedule. If you want to set a password, you at the last minute, so 10 minutes before you do the meeting and set the password, which is actually a secure kind of thing, forcing you to use a new password.
Okay. I'll have to play with that a little bit. I'll add that to my list for next week.
Yep.
Investigate.
But anyway, it was pretty powerful. Of course, the computer people were very tolerant of various things going wrong and getting on and off and everything. So it was, but it was interesting to see how it worked out, because basically they were in their workspaces or their workshops and showing things and playing with things.
So, well, you can actually show things that you can't when you're going to a real meeting because you can't bring all that stuff with you, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like the guy who founded the group, as soon as he was on, he was saying, "Hey, I'm turning a 14-year-old laptop into a Chromebook." And shows the laptop.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to talk about.
Yeah. So the thing, my next thing, if I get this, once I play with the Pi, I'm going to do that thing with my multimeter that you did with the truck.
Oh, okay.
Play with it a little bit.
Yep.
And I actually have a needle on one of these. That's an alligator. It broke, so I put an alligator clip with a needle on it, which is better than the probe for the tiny things on the truck.
Yep.
And I have a question about the truck, what you're doing with the truck. So you bought some batteries. Are you juicing up the truck or just having extra batteries for it?
I know what I did is I remember that open source project that had the video camera and stuff on the small vehicle.
Right.
From a couple weeks ago. So that uses 18650 batteries. So I had to get 18650 batteries.
So this thing is mounting on the truck.
So this thing, these batteries are mounting on, well, it's downstairs. I'll show you next week.
Yeah.
It's just a little vehicle with, I think it's a.
So this is not the car, the truck that we bought before.
No. Well, this is the one that cost me $115, and it includes all the parts and stuff. So, including the little webcam and stuff. So.
Great. So now the trucks are kind of moved back because we can quickly prototype on this platform, which I'm absolutely willing to buy and follow with you.
That's fine. I just wanted to get something working because I was losing interest in the project.
So much sense. Makes so much sense. And once you've got that one working, the truck may fall into place, the other truck or whatever platform we get. Because for my dream of something that runs with me, I probably need a bigger truck. That truck will, I think it might hold a
water bottle, maybe?
4-ounce water bottle.
Yeah.
But
and I don't know that it could actually keep up with you either.
Yeah. No, I can't. I can run a little faster than it. It's good. It can keep up with me walking. I've tried it.
Okay.
So anyway, that's really exciting. So did you already send me the info on the getting that kit?
Yep, it's part of not last week's, but I think it's the week before's update.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm gonna move ahead as quick as I can on that. And then sounds like Joe is moving along quickly. So maybe we can correspond a bit and see what he's up to.
Yeah, I can understand that he probably doesn't have a real good internet connection down there.
he's California though. I think California's pretty well networked. So there may be some way if he gets to know his neighbors, he may be able to.
I think he should probably plug the electric car in before he moves it into the storage and use the big battery pack for for powering some stuff.
That's it. Satellite power. Okay. All right. Good to talk.
Yep. We will talk to you again next week.
Okay. Bye now.
Bye-bye.